It didn't take that long for us to get down here from Baltimore, but I have a feeling if you were driving, it probably would have taken maybe 20, 25 minutes. Are you a fast driver considering your family's history?
I like to think of myself as a cautious driver.
Really?
Yeah, I'm probably not the fastest driver in my family. I think my mom takes the cake on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. If I have a long trip, I'm definitely going to try and cut down some time, that's for sure.
So your dad and your grandfather, both NASCAR champions. That is an incredible story. And how come you ended up in baseball as opposed to going the way of your grandfather and your father and going down the NASCAR route?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I was around NASCAR all the time. I was there on the weekends for the races that were close and whatnot. And with both my dad and grandfather being in it, it would have been an easy way to get into NASCAR, definitely. But I don't know, there was something about baseball that really just stuck out to me whenever I was growing up. I was into so many sports growing up. Both my parents had me and my sisters in whatever sport was in season. And I just grew a really close connection with baseball.
And your grandfather on your mother's side played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, correct?
Yeah, definitely. He played up until AAA. And so a lot of times if I wasn't able to go to the races, I would be able to hang out with him. And baseball is such a big part of his life, and we sort of shared that bond. And we'd watch Brave games on the weekends or whenever I was over with him, so that was always fun.
Does your father ever make it down to some of your games and get some notice in the crowd?
Oh, definitely. He tries to make it to as many games as he can. He was able to make it up here for the All-Star weekend. We play in Carolina a lot, which is nice, and my parents are able to travel a little bit and make the trips. So it makes the season go by a little bit faster being able to see them.
That's awesome. Now, you have been awesome so far this season with Frederick. You got called up to Bowie back in April, and then you found yourself back here in Frederick. What did you learn from that experience being with the Bay Sox?
I think I just learned that it was another adjustment level, getting bumped up to AA, and there were things I had to learn, not only about all the other players that are there, because there's a lot of great players at that level, but I think it was more about myself and how I need to handle myself day in and day out at that level. And I think I took a lot of what I learned and I've been able to bring it back here and sort of keep building on that, and then hopefully get a chance at the next level at some point.
Being in the outfield here, I hear that you guys move around all the time. You're versatile in terms of which position in the outfield that you're able to play. And I heard from Ryan Miner, your manager, that you guys are focusing a lot on shifting too, because you're getting that from the top with this new change in the organization. Have you learned a lot in terms of how to shift, when to shift with certain guys, and has that been an adjustment for you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think it's been an adjustment for a lot of baseball teams now and a lot of organizations. We're just getting more into the sense of kind of reading swings and reading players of how often they hit the ball where. And with the infield shifts more than we do, but I think what us outfielders as a group are sort of basing it off of is how they shift, and then we're going to sort of most likely go the opposite of them, and then sort of feed off what the hitter's doing during the games and then shift that way. But I think it helps out a lot because it's helping the players read the game more than just the coaches moving us constantly.
And you being in the batter's box, you're hitting .308 this season, you're crushing the ball with 8 homers as well. Is the shift something that you ever notice as a hitter up there and you look to beat it, or is that something you just tune it all out and you just go up there and hit?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you want to be able to get those hits, and sometimes I'll see second baseman shift up the middle or shortstop shifted in the 6 hole a little bit more, and I'm like, well, I mean, there's a hole right over there that
yeah. I
could be, but honestly, I mean, it takes a lot of back control and a lot of focus to be able to take a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in and put it over to the right side. So I try not to think about it too much, but it's definitely noticeable now.
Yeah. And how about this coaching staff under Ryan Miner? How have they helped you make those adjustments, both in the field and at the batter's box?
Oh, they've been awesome. I mean, they'll give you instant feedback each time. You can go up and ask them questions, whether it be in the field with Ryan Miner. I mean, I'm able to come in and ask him what his thoughts are on moving on certain hitters and whatnot. And then with our hitting coach, Bobby, I mean, he's very good with giving you answers quickly, or not even answers, just suggestions on maybe what you could do or what he's seeing, and then you sort of build off of it together.
Awesome. Well, we wish you continued success down the rest of the season, and hopefully you're able to beat the shift a few more times as you go along.
Hopefully so. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Zach Jarrett joining us here in Frederick, Maryland.